In the last video, I introduced you to how to place an image. So let's go to that image and kind of delete everything. So I click on it and I go backspace or delete. So I'm going to show you how to place a frame first and then place the image inside of it. So if you go over here to the rectangle frame tool, and I want you to just click and drag a frame. All right, so there's a frame. Then you can go to File, Place, Elephants. Okay. Then that elephant picture is placed inside of that frame. All right. So you can see that it's quite small. You can go to that elephant picture and manually sort of change how it fits, okay, into that frame. But then sometimes you end up stretching it this way or that, and there's a lot of playing around. So instead, you can go to Object, Fitting, and you can say Fill Frame Proportionately, okay? So there we go. So it doesn't skew the image, right? It doesn't stretch it one way or another. In fact, it just fills the frame, okay? And you can see that a little bit gets cut off, but it doesn't get squished one way or another. It fills the frame completely. Okay, so let's go Edit, Undo, and let's go see the other ones, what they do. So we go to Object, Fitting. What about Fit Frame Proportionately? So it fits the frame. It doesn't get bigger than the frame. It just fits it. So there's some space up here and below here that doesn't get filled, but it fits the frame. All right, so that's the difference. And then Edit, Undo. Now let's go to Object, Fitting. And let's see what Fit Frame to Content does. So the frame is fit to the content. So the frame gets smaller and now it fits the content. Okay, so you don't have a bigger frame than content. Undo, Object, and let's go again, Fit Content to Frame. Okay, so that kind of makes it exactly the same size as the frame, so it ends up kind of elongating this, you know, kind of squishing this elephant a bit. Okay, so I don't like that. All right. Next, Object, Fitting, and Center Content, which is, it's already in the center, right? So those are the different options. So if you had, you know, a box that you need it to be exactly this size, right? And you need the elephant to fill exactly that size, you would go File, Place the elephant, right? And then you would go Object, Fitting, and then Fill Frame Proportionately. There we go. Now you're filling this frame exactly this, and you don't have to worry about any squishing, things like that. All right. So of course you can also create a shape that's not a rectangle. You can create an ellipse. Again, if you press Shift on your keyboard and drag, it makes a perfect circle. Okay, so, and then you can also go File, Place your elephants. And then you can go Object, Fitting, Fill Frame Proportionately. There we go. And then you can move, oops. And then when you move it around, make sure that you're not on the brown. So if you see a brown box and you move it around, you're moving just the image around, not the frame. So the frame and the image have to travel together. And there we go. Okay, so another thing you can do to place images in is you can also, oh, there's another one I didn't show you here in the frame. You can also create a polygon tool or polygon frame. Okay, there we go. Edit or File, Place. You can place elephants in there. Okay, and Object. So Object, Fitting, Fill Frame. There we go. So it doesn't have to be a circle or a rectangle. It could really be any shape at all. You can even draw a shape with your pen tool. I could draw, there you go, a triangle, and then use that file, So I select the triangle first, you set File, Place, Elephants. There we go, Object, and Fitting, Fill Frame Proportionately. Go. And of course, that leaves you with an outline, right? Okay, so that leaves you with like a stroke. You can see that stroke here. You can make that stroke wider, so I'm going to hide my layers. You can make that stroke more. If you go over here to stroke, or you can go to window strokes. Okay, you can make that stroke more, right? So really it's a shape that you're placing the image in. Okay, so you can also just place a shape using the shape tool. So a rectangle tool here. Okay. I'm going to place, and then go change the stroke, and then I'm going to go File, Place my elephants in there, and go Object, Fitting, Fill Content Proportionately. There we go. Okay, so you can create shapes and use that as a frame as well, or if you just use a frame tool, then you don't have the option of adding a stroke or anything like that, right? So you don't end up with a shape and the frame. Okay, and of course there's also other shapes you can create with the ellipse tool, right? Same thing, Edit, or File, Place, Elephants, and I think you get the idea, right? Alright, so if you have this sort of outline here and you don't want it, you can always go here and apply none. Okay, then you won't have that outline. And of course there's this kind of blue line that appears anyway, all these blue lines. These are just guides. So if you want to really know what it's going to look like, you can go to View, View Screen Mode, and Preview. So that's what it would actually look like without all the distraction.